My name is Tan Handress. I am a student at the University of Mary Washington. I prefer Z and zero pronouns, and I am responding to the question, should same-sex marriage be at the forefront of the LGBT civil rights movement? Um, and I'm responding in the negative, no, same-sex marriage should not be at the forefront of the movement. Instead, legislation to end bullying and job discrimination should be the primary focus of the LGBT movement. It's true that marriage grants many rights, and my opponent states that an effective social movement would be remiss to deny those rights to its constituents. However, by pursuing the legalization of same-sex marriage, the LGBT movement would be doing just that. By granting the rights conferred with marriage to LGBT people, um, the movement thus denies such rights to those who choose not to marry or whose relationships the institution of marriage does not validate, such as polyamorous relationships. And statistics show that marriage is also declining very rapidly for non-LGBT people anyway. According to the 2005 State of Our Union's report, marriage has declined by 50% since 1970. Some estimates using this data say that there could be virtually no marriages in America by 2028. And while this may seem somewhat unrealistic, there is very incontrovertible evidence that marriage is becoming steadily less popular among non-LGBT people. Um, and so this increasing rejection of marriage in American society shows that marriage is on its way out, and many couples, LGBT and non-LGBT alike, do not have access to the rights granted with marriage. With marriage declining, it might be more effective to extend the rights of marriage to everybody in a committed relationship without stigmatizing or excluding certain groups. The religious act of marriage, of course, could be preserved for those who want it, but legally it makes no sense to deny any couples or families the rights granted with marriage, currently granted with marriage. Of course, this is an issue larger than the LGBT community, and although they have a stake in it, rather than take on such a task as reforming marriage, however, the LGBT community would better benefit by focusing on more pressing issues, especially legislative acts to end bullying and job discrimination. Bullying, of course, is an incredibly important issue because it is taking the lives of young Americans who are either LGBT or perceived to be LGBT. Currently, this issue has enormous momentum because it has been brought to the spotlight by by the media and especially by celebrity activists such as Lady Gaga, Pink, and Daniel Radcliffe. It has all the potential to be at the forefront of the movement, and it provides a support system for LGBT youth, for example, the Trevor Project, and it also promotes education about LGBT people. Likewise, it is important for LGBT people to have sources of income and stable lives before they think of something such as starting a family. Currently, only 15 states and Washington, D.C. have laws against discrimination based upon sexual orientation and gender identity. It's important for LGBT people to have protection, income, and the guarantee of a roof over their heads before gaining same-sex marriage rights. Um, my opponent also mentions the social benefits of same-sex marriage. The rights and social benefits my opponent mentions are important and should be fought for. However, same-sex marriage does not benefit the whole movement, such as my opponent suggests. Legalization of same-sex marriage will not legitimize the lifestyle of LGBT Americans, only lesbian and gay Americans. Bisexual and especially transgender people may benefit from the legalization of same-sex marriage, but only by coincidence and not design. The phrase same-sex marriage is largely interchangeable with gay marriage for non-LGBT people, and even for some people within the community. But they're not the same thing, and the phrase gay marriage erases the identities of bisexual and transgender people. Same-sex marriage does not challenge society's ideas about bisexual and transgender people, only gay and lesbian people. However, an anti-bullying movement has social benefits that extend to all members of the LGBT community. Anti-bullying would focus on the acceptance of people who deviate from the norm expected of men and women and would emphasize the importance of gender and sexual diversity. Same-sex marriage does not accomplish this. With laws against job discrimination as well, more LGBT people may feel comfortable coming out in the workplace, which will further promote the education about all sexual orientations and gender identities. Overall, anti bullying and anti discrimination legislation would best benefit the LGBT movement and should be at the forefront of the movement.